Hello readers, it's Sasha and I am back from my hiatus. What up? Let me just explain to you, this past month or two and a half has been very exhausting, and I just needed to take a step back and kind of, you know? So I'm back with a vengeance, and I'm really excited to film. I'm gonna be filming the Goodreads Chooses My... Oh, my cat is so cute. I love her. I'm going to be filming my Goodreads Chooses My December TBR. And I've decided to go a little bit crazy with this because I hate myself, I guess. I don't know. I usually only do 5. If you've been here, if you've seen it, I only usually do 5. For December, I decided to up the ante a little bit and I decided to do 8. Because here's the thing, 8 is not a lot of books. It's really not. For a lot of people, 8 is like such a low number of books to read in a month, but my reading has absolutely gone out the window. Like, my brain cells have disintegrated.
You got a 12-car garage and you only got 15 cars, cause we all just don't wanna be big rock stars.
My reading comprehension has gone down at least 2 levels. I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time. I just, literally, there's nothing going for me up in the noggin. So I was like, to get myself back into the habit of reading, because I'm kind of on this kick right now where I just want to pick up a book. I feel like I should give myself more to choose from. It doesn't really matter if I don't read the 8 books, because like I'm not the kind of person who like gets really down on myself if I don't get the books that I chose on Goodreads to read. I don't care. It's fun to get them, but like, whatever. You'll live and you'll learn. I had already filmed this once, but I didn't like how it turned out because like you could just tell I was still really exhausted and really sad because I filmed it. I don't know what possessed me to be like, right now is the moment. Like, I did it the day after we had to put my cat down. I was just like very visibly sad and trying really hard to get into my groove of like what the internet peoples call humor, what I call coping. I just, you know, it wasn't there. So I decided to scrap that video and try all over again. So I just unclogged my bathroom sink. I did French braids, kind of. I did like a ponytail, but it's like French braids going into it, so I kind of feel classy. And I've been burning a Christmas tree candle for 6 hours. Is it really 10 p.m.? It's actually 10 p.m. Girl needs to actually get a life. Yes, so I'm ready to get this party started. If you haven't been on my channel before and you don't know what the heck a Goodreads Chooses My TBR is, it's essentially where I take all of the number of books I have in my Goodreads watch read list and I throw it into a random number generator, and the first usually 5 numbers I get correspond to the 5 books I'll read for the month. And then it gives me a little bit of wiggle room to pick up any other books I might want to read or the book that I'm reading for the book club that I'm co-hosting. But I just decided to go for 8 for December. So instead of 5 times, it'll be 8 times because I really like doing it. It's just like such an adrenaline rush, you know what I mean? Like, yes. Okay, so I have to actually get it to film because the last time I tried to do this, bitch wouldn't film. Like, I literally could not get it to film. And if it does that again, I'm suing. So the number of books that I have on my Goodreads watch read list is 557 because why not? You know what I'm saying? So on top of the 8 books that I'm reading for the month of December from my Goodreads Chooses My TBR, I'm also reading a book for the Whiners Book Club, which I will mention at the end. So after a very long introduction, let's just dive in. Okay. Are we ready? The first number is 131. So that'll be on page 2. Okay, it's still filming. We're Gucci. So 131 will be down here. Ooh. Okay, we can dig it. We can dig it. So this is Little Monsters by... I'm blind. By Cara Thomas. So this is about a girl who is new in town. She has to move in with her real father. And she ends up having a stepbrother and a stepsister and a half-sister and all these things. And her life is like really, it's like surprisingly good for, you know how like when you start a book and it's like they start a new life and literally everything is trash. Well, not Kara, that's the name of the author. Casey's life is the opposite. Like, her life is charming, it's cute, it's like swell, you know what I'm saying? And she makes a lot of new friends, which is really surprising because we all know in young adults, the authors love to make people friendless for whatever reason. But her friends start acting really distant, and it makes it really uncomfortable for her to ask because she's still new. She doesn't really understand why they're being distant, but she doesn't feel comfortable asking. One of her friends ends up dead. So everybody is turning to her as like the new person in town, as somebody who like broke the serenity. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And they're like, what happened? And she's like, I don't know, but this is what the story is about. So it's like a mystery, a murder mystery. I love mystery books. I can read these. I can bang out a good mystery book in like a day or two. So having a mystery book is actually really solid, a really good start. I love mystery so much. Are we ready to see the second book that I'm going to be reading? 533. Okay, that's a really new edition. I would have just had to add this, so this is going to be really interesting. Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. This is another thriller mystery. We love to see it. December is supposed to be holly jolly, but now it is killy willy. I don't know what I was going. Wow, I need to sleep. Okay, Behind Closed Doors is about a couple named Jack and Grace who are like on the outside like a perfect couple. They're just like top tier. Like, everybody's like, oh, their relationship is so cute, you know. But you start to realize that things are fishy because Jack and Grace are literally never apart, like ever. And you're like, why is that? Like, why can't they just like have separate lives? You know what I'm saying? Grace never answers the phone. She can never meet for coffee. She cooks really fancy meals, but has the slimmest of slim figures. And people are wondering why there are bars on one of the windows. So this is like a domestic thriller, I think is what I would call it. Maybe, no, it's a psychological thriller. I've had a lot of my really good friends here on BookTube read this, and so I added it to my list very recently, and now I'm gonna read it too. It's gonna be a party. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be upset. Okay. Number 3, we're off to a really, really good start so far, and I'm actually really excited. So number 3 is 166. So I'll go back over to page 2. Goodbye Perfect. Oh my god, I want to read this so bad. This is about 2 friends in high school because I don't read adult books 9 times out of 10. One of the friends ends up running away with a guy, and this is 5 days before their GCSEs or something like that. And I believe this guy is her band teacher. I'm not like 100% sure. I might be thinking of a different book because it doesn't say in the description, but I could have sworn it was. So Eden, the friend who hasn't run away, is now left trying to pick up the pieces and trying to understand, okay, what went wrong? Why did she run away? What's actually going on? Trying to figure that out. And I'm really excited to read this because I had an evil band teacher too. Like, he sucked. He was rude. He was mean. And I feel like it's a connection. You know what I'm saying? So, book 3, success again. Maybe we can get a happy book out of this. Who knows? We'll see. Book 4 is 423. All right, so we're gonna go over to page 5. Usually I have the computer in front of me, but I've moved the setup around, so I don't have that anymore. So yeah, what was the number? 23. Okay, 423 is Wait for Me. I have no idea what this is. I completely forget. So it is 1945, and there's a girl. Ooh, okay. So it's about this girl who lives in Scotland in 1945, and she works at her father's farm, and she spends a lot of her time praying for an Allied victory because, as we know, 1945, World War II is still a thing. Paul Vogel, who is a German prisoner of war, is assigned as the new farmhand for her father's farm, obviously. And Lorna, who is the girl, is just like, no, get him the fuck away from me immediately. But Lorna ends up spending more time with Paul because, as one does when it is a young adult book, romances fly. You know what I'm saying? I hope this isn't like a, oh, I'm gonna simp for a German soldier in World War II type book, because I'll be bitter, because I don't want to do that. But I'm actually really excited to read this. I love historical fiction. It has really good ratings, and I think it'll be a nice break for the fact that I'm reading consistently sad stories. So I think this might be fun. We'll see. Number 5. So this typically would be the last book, but I decided to struggle. So 548. Wow, that's a really late arrival. Imagine being on my Goodreads list, just having been added and then being read. Like, who is she? Okay, 548 is Saving Francesca. It's essentially just about this girl who gets sent away to a boarding school, and meanwhile her mother is back at home battling with severe depression, and her depression gets worse and worse, and Francesca, the girl who is at boarding school, realizes like, okay, I need to try to figure out a way to help my mom get through this. And I thought this was a really cute story idea, just because a lot of the times when we see a young adult novel about depression, it doesn't focus on a parent's depression, it focuses on the mother's depression. But life is also equally as difficult when you have a parent who suffers from a mental illness. So I think this is a really good premise for a story, and I'm interested to see how it goes. Next is book 6. Oh, an even 100. That's good. I don't know if you can hear my computer dying in the background. Anyways, 100 is All Is Fair, which is another historical fiction. So this is about a girl who knows that she's better than her English boarding school, where she's being taught to be like a proper lady. But anyways, it is 1918. War is a thing that is happening. Her father and her brothers are able to go help, and she wants to, but she's not able to. So then she receives this like telegram that's written in code, and she finally has her chance to do something. So she ends up going back to her childhood home, and she finds this really hot British guy and this really hot American guy, and they band together and do something to, like, I don't know, save the world, probably. I'm excited because obviously it's gonna be love triangle-y, it's gonna be historical fiction-y, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be a girl getting shit done. We love to see it. So, another success. Book 7. Do I actually hate myself? Is that what we're learning here? Because this is what I feel. Book 7 is 147. So page 2, did I not do 147 already? I guess we'll find out. I feel like I had one very similar. Oh, I did not. Ah! It's To Be Honest. Oh my god, it's a plus size book. We love to see plus size representation. It's about this plus size girl who has a really overbearing mother, and she has to be stuck at home with her after her sister leaves for college. But her mom actually just appeared on a weight loss show, and so she's kind of being a tyrant about this girl's weight. Savannah, her name's Savannah, about Savannah's weight, and Savannah is really dreading being at home with her. But then she meets a boy who also has insecurities of his own, and they end up kind of like bonding over their own insecurities and helping each other, I'm assuming. And it's just gonna be cute. It's gonna be cute. It's gonna be fun. And book 8. 557, the last book I ever added. What did I add? Oh, I just added Deity. It was the book that I've been reading this month for like 70 million years, but like decided to not finish it. That's actually hilarious. Okay, so the final book is Deity, which is the 3rd book in the Jennifer L. Armentrout series, Covenant. And I can't really give you too much about it, but the Covenant series itself is about a girl. It's like Percy Jackson, but with a lot more sexual tension. And yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's like this girl who's like a half-blood, and she has to fight these daemons who are these like pure bloods that are turned bad, and she is just kicking butt. She's got a boy she really likes, she can't be with, and then there's another boy who she's destined to be with. I don't know. I'm actually shook right now that I get to finish it, because I was like, I'm just not gonna read it. It's fine, you know what I mean? But now it's the last on this list, which means I'm gonna read it. That's actually so funny. Okay, so that is it. The other book I'm planning on reading for the Winers Book Club pick that we chose for the month of December, which is going to be featured on my channel, we chose The Afterlife of Holly Chase. A, because Christmas. You have to read at least one Christmassy type book in December if you are a celebrator of Christmas. I just feel like it's mandatory. And 2, it's a really cool premise because it's like a retelling of Scrooge with like a teenage girl. So I think it's gonna be really interesting. I've had it ever since it came out, but I've never read it. So we're gonna read it for the Winers Book Club. So if you're interested in joining us, I still don't know the date because Christmas is a thing, but we will have that on our Twitter, which I will link in the description below, so feel free to check us out. But that is it. Those are the 8 books that I'm reading for the month of December. 9 books I'm reading for the month of December. I'm very excited to actually read most of these books. Like, all of them, yes, but I'm a little nervous about Wait For Me. Because I don't want it to be like, oh, like, he's like, poor thing, joined the German soldiers because he didn't know what to do. You know, he became a Nazi because he didn't know what to do. Like, I hope it's not that kind of story. Like, I hope it's not. But everything else I'm really excited for. So thank you for tuning into this video. I feel so much happier with how this turned out already. So I can't wait for you guys to eventually see it. And until next time, bye readers.
Okay, bye.